Hey, this is just another quick video on domain and range. It should match one of your assignments that I'm going to give you very, very soon. So we're going to go ahead and do the domain and range for 3 different graphs, okay? And I will be doing all the notations just so you don't forget them. So for this first graph, okay, for the domain, it's a little bit bigger. For the domain, we have all the possible x values on the given graph. Another way to think about it is all the possible input values that exist on this particular curve. Okay, so remember that we look at the x and we look at the far left and the far right. So the farthest left point is this right here, so it's -3. So I'm going to start with that. And the farthest rightmost point is this value right here, which is at +1. So comma 1. Since this is an open circle, I'm going to go ahead and do a parentheses. This one is a closed circle, so I'm going to put a bracket. And this right here is our interval notation for this. Okay, algebraically, this would be -3 is less than x, less than or equal to +1. Again, this one is a parenthesis, so it has no line. Open circle. This is a closed circle, so this one has no line. Oops, sorry about that. Ignore that. For our set notation, we pretty much do the same thing, but now we're going to put all that fancy stuff. So -3 less than x less than or equal to 1, comma, x belongs to the real numbers. Okay. For the range, I'm going to use a red color for that one, just to kind of differentiate between the two. Remember, ranges are y values. In case you can't see, that's the y. And we go from bottom to top. So in this case, our bottommost point, we have one here and we have one here. They happen to be the same. So this is at -4. So for the range, my bottommost point is -4. And if I go to the top, I have a point here and I have a point here. Now it's a little tricky because this is an open circle. However, this point is not open. This is a closed circle. So my 0 is going to have a bracket. So as long as one of them has the closed circle or the solid line, it counts as a bracket. Okay. So just like before, I'm going to do -4 is less than y because this is range, less than or equal to 0. And again, parentheses, no line, bracket, line. For my set notation, I do y such that -4 is less than y, less than or equal to 0, where y belongs to the real numbers. Okay, next one. This graph should look a little familiar. It's part of the rational family. It's a little tricky because it has those gaps. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the domain first. The domain for this one is going all the way from the left, so we have -infinity. Okay, so -infinity, comma, and it's going all the way to about right here, about this 2. It gets closer and closer. Notice that, yes, it's going down, but if we think of it left and right, it's getting closer and closer to this 2 right here. So I'm going to put a 2. And that's going to have a parentheses because it's never going to actually touch the 2. Okay. After that, the graph continues on the other side. So we're going to have to put one of those U's. Remember, this is an OR statement. And it starts at 2. So right here, it's going from 2 all the way to the right, so all the way to infinity. And both of these have parentheses. We'll see these functions more later on in the year, but for now, just remember that they're not going to be actually touching this line because this is what we call an asymptote. Okay. Inequality-wise, we can do this 2 ways. We can say that -infinity is less than x less than 2, or 2 is less than x is less than infinity. Okay, that's one way to do it. However, if we don't want to write this whole big thing, you can also just say that x is less than 2 or x is greater than 2. And both of these are correct. Okay. However, this one's a little bit more elementary. Okay. Set notation, same thing. We do our x such that, and I'm going to use the second one, x is less than 2, or x is greater than 2, where x belongs to the real numbers. Now for the range. The range we have all the way down here going forever, so that's negative infinity, parentheses. And the range is actually stopping right here on the axis. So this point right here, remember this is in the middle, this is 0 for y. So 0, that's a parentheses. Okay. Unite it with, so the other part, the top part, so this is also getting close to that axis, which is again 0. So 0, going up forever to infinity. And just like we did with the domain, we're going to rewrite it in the other notation. So negative infinity, less than y, less than 0, or 0 is less than y is less than infinity. And again, this can be written a little bit nicer, just y is less than 0, or y is greater than 0. Okay. Notice that from here to here, we do have to flip it because here the y is in the middle, and if you read it this way, y is bigger than that one. Okay. Set notation, y such that y is less than 0, or y is greater than 0, where y belongs to the real numbers. And our final one, I'm going to do something a little bit different with this one, something that a professor actually said would help, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. If I were to draw a box around this figure, okay, so my box would stop here, and it would stop right here, okay, and this is going to help me with my domain and range. So for my domain, I'm going to look at the x, I'm going to look at the right side, so this side and this side. So this side over here, I see that this point lands about right there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so negative 5, comma. And on this side, my box lands, this is the farthest side. So this one is right here. So that's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, positive 5. Okay. And then I have to decide if it's open or closed. So this left point was a closed circle, so I can put a bracket there, whereas this one was an open circle. So that's going to be a parentheses. Okay. Just a different method on how to find the domain and range. So it's the box, and we look at the left side and the right side to get our endpoints. Then we rewrite it, so negative 5 less than or equal to x less than 5. This is our algebraic version. Our set notation, we put our little squiggly line, which is a curly brace, x such that negative 5 is less than or equal to x less than 5, where x belongs to the real numbers. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with the y, but now we're going to be looking at the bottom part of the box, so this part of the box and the top part of the box. So for my range, I have that the bottom part is right here, which is right at 0, so 0. And the top part is up here, which is at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at 6. My bottom, there is a point here, so that's going to be a bracket. The top part is an open circle, so that's a parentheses. Okay. Now we're going to rewrite it. Remember, this is our interval notation. So we're going to go from interval to algebraic. So 0 is less than or equal to y less than 6. Our set amount of time y such that 0 is less than or equal to y less than 6, where y belongs to the real numbers. And that's it. Good luck on your assignment.